What's going on, everybody? We are here and ready to rock and roll. We're just getting logged in. We'll probably need to reset the game because, well, the instant replay. I forget what they call that feature, but it doesn't work well with Call of the Wild. So, pro tip out, my fellow Xbox users: if you have your, what is that called? The back. I don't know. Where 9 times out of 10 works great. Excellent feature. You can instantly start any game wherever you left off. It's great. In fact, it works so well, it's better than my PC at times, where it's like, this is so nice. I wish that my PC could do this. Doesn't work with Call of the Wild. Don't do it. It'll ruin your game. Shout out Dad Squatch. That said, without further ado, we're gonna jump right into it because at almost 5,000 kills at this point, I feel like the more I shoot, the faster and longer I do it, the quicker the scouts show up. But here we are. All right, so I just thought of this, and the reason I thought of it was because I noticed I need some 300 ammo. Now granted, not every single deer I've shot with a 300, but I want to do some quick math just to see how much money I've spent simply on ammo. Not time changes, not none of that, just how much ammo have I burned through for 4,787 kills. So let's go buy some 300 ammo. So at 950 hunter bucks here, whatever they're called, let's pull up the old calculator. 950 rounds a pop. So we're gonna go ahead and enter our kill count, right? Any scientists out there can correct me on the math here. But we're gonna go ahead and pop in our kill count. We're gonna go ahead and divide that by 10 because that's how many rounds come in there. And then we're going to times that by how much it costs. And I have spent so far $454,000 on ammunition alone for this grind. So this is why I always tell people that are just starting out playing Call of the Wild, and they're like, what, can you help me set up my Great One grind? What should I do? It's like, get money, a lot of money, because it's going to cost a lot of money to grind, especially if you're in a 5,000 kill grind like I am. That's not paying you out well. Because when you shoot a mule deer with a 300, they're only worth about 850 bucks. And, well, that doesn't account for the ammo costs, so. Anyway, just random thought. First on the hit list is that little Forky. Did I make a bad shot? No, he's going down. I think I did make a bad shot, but the 300 helped compensate, and that's exactly why I use it. Once you have enough money in the game, obviously it's not an issue. Like, I've been sitting pretty comfortable, never had to worry about money once we hit that 3 million mark, but that said, I say that cautiously. You can see 500,000 just for ammo, just for this grind. That doesn't account for all the time changes, all the tents that you have to buy, the tripods, the ground blinds, you know. If you're getting real crazy with it, the feeders. Anyway, it's my little low-key trigger whenever I see everybody talking about, you know, like, here's their cool little Great One grind tutorials, and none of them are like, you're gonna need at least 7 mil to get this going like the way we're doing this. That said, if you're doing it right, depending on species dependent, of course, you actually make an insane amount of money great one grinding. So okay, here's a literal professional tip. If you're accurate enough, grinding for money on Emerald Coast with crocodiles is cool. It's fun. Just set up on Red Deer on any map. Not only will you get the chance to get a great one, they're worth the same amount of money, and there's way more and they're a lot easier to shoot. So I don't know. You know, family and life and everything is we've been on hiatus as far as the video making past few months, but it's like the Green Goblin mask sitting in the corner of the room. I've watched enough videos where like, all right, I gotta say something. That they're bad. It's just like there's still some like cloudiness around a lot of stuff. I'm like, hey, why are we not talking about this? Yeah, we want to attract people, make them want a great one grind, but the second that they're like, and I've seen this so many countless times where guys are starting out and they want to get those great ones, but they don't have any money and they don't even have enough money to change time, and so they're like just hosed. Then they stop playing the game because they're like, this is terrible, like this is a terrible experience. It's like, yeah, because you probably should have like built up some cash flow or prior to, you know. Reason, even though I've got 3 million, I'm always like kind of concerned. I've noticed, like looking back on the channel, about, you know, keeping that money flow going, and that's because at any moment, you know, weird stuff happens. I had this glitch happen one time, and it's made me gun shy ever since, where literally all of my tents and tripods and stuff were deleted, so I had to rebuy them. At the time, you know, I had many years of game service before the reset, millions worth of cash, so it was nothing. Starting back out and going back, and guys, I still haven't recovered financially in this game from the Great Reset. And that was like, was that last June or June before or July? I've shot a lot of stuff in between now and then, and the thing is, going back and retinting every single map, or every time there's a new map, you know, and then obviously this is user choice, but when that new map comes out, obviously here we are in ASCII Ridge, you know, look at Scotland. I've got 16 tents, I've got my tripods, and it's maybe not grinding something, but, you know, when it comes to running gun and having your tents placed around the map is huge. And tents are very expensive. There's a dime. 283, 344. Oh, is that a piebald? That's a piebald, folks. That sneaky dude, he's barely a piebald, but that's a piebald. Now we have a dilemma here. The greatest one to have in the Hunter Call of the Wild, I guess, with the exception of maybe a great one being present. Let me check the other group. Maybe this could be real right now. Imagine. This is like one of those philosophical, I think, therefore I am moments. Got a pretty decent rare. Got a dime. If I shoot one of them, the other one's going to run away. Which one do I shoot? If you play the game long enough and try hard enough, we're going to try to get both here. All right. Hopefully he stops. I'm going to try to transition, use recoil to the advantage here. Oh, no, 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 no. You were in a good spot, sir. Now you're not in such a good spot, but we're going to eat around anyway. Oh, no, 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 no. Did I land it? Did I land it? Visually, yeah, we landed it. He's done. Not playing games. We're gonna switch back to 300. I don't want that to happen every time I pull the trigger. Watch this guy be a troll. Looking at that rack, I'm gonna guess 325. 318 to 325. Boom, I was kind of close. 316. Watch this guy be a troll. Where's our piebald at? This guy's interesting because he almost didn't look like a piebald. Fun fact about myself personally, I've actually shot a real whitetail piebald in the wild. This guy's interesting. And what's cool is, like, the deer that I shot in real life, so far the pattern's real similar. Where you almost can't tell it's a piebald until you actually look at it and you're like, oh, that's a piebald. Actually, I should try to show that on stream somehow. Picture of it. What's cool is because it's chamber in 30-06 and it's semi-automatic, but this is literally the rifle that I use in real life to hunt with. So it's kind of cool. It's in the game. Also, I did a lot of shooting there. I shot the diamond, the piebald. I think we just shot 3. I think we're good to go. Be breaking 4,800 kills here, Lord willing, and that's a pretty gross number. You know what? Oh, whoa. Where'd those guys come from? They're like spawning in or something. Well, if you're just standing there, I'm kind of glad that that guy straight up, you know, looked at the charts and got the old ear clip there, because I didn't want to track him down. Here's what's crazy about the kill count too, not just that we're almost 5,000 kills, but that's just when I started counting them. So like, I could have upwards of like 6,000 maybe. Doubt I have that many, but still, could definitely be a lot more. What's going on, Prairie Rory? I'm probably gonna let him walk. Yeah, he slowed down. Never mind. You done messed up, buddy. You done messed up. Oh, hang on. Your other buddy's bigger and he messed up too. But I think I just messed up. Yeah, we hit something important. He's going down. Earlier I did a math demonstration with my 300 ammo and I just realized I didn't buy any, which was the entire intention behind the demonstration, but alright. Gonna need ammo. What's going on, Oreo? And it's not because I think I'm going to shoot 50 mule deer tonight. It's because I'm going to definitely miss a lot. So, going to need some ammo. Spine shot him. Honestly, if I didn't shoot him with the 300, that dude would have ran for a long time. Nah, it's all good outdoors. What's going on, man? I get it. That's my problem. I get the jibber jabbering and I don't realize I'm playing, and you guys have seen it where I'm like dancing off into space, just jabbering. He looks big. Not big enough to shoot the small caliber, but you know what? I actually am going to shoot him small caliber. Why? Because my tent's way over yonder and I want him to run to it. Might have been a little far back. Nah, he's done. Well, task failed successfully, I guess. He made it 12 yards closer. I appreciate you stopping by and saying hello, man. It's because we hit everything important there except the heart. What you hunting for outdoors? Yeah, I'm hoping I can get this stinking great one. Now, here's my thing. Just shy of 5,000 kills. I'm really hoping, like, within the next 200. Because in my head, like, 200 kills is very doable. Another 3,000 kills? I don't know if that's doable. Whitetail on Rev, huh? That's where I'd hunt whitetail, for sure. I've honestly not tried hunting whitetail here, though. There's definitely whitetail on this map, but... Low-key, I've always wanted to set up, and this would be a nightmare to do, but I've always wanted to set up a whitetail grind on New England. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where we're at with this mule deer. So I started grinding this guy literally the day ASCII Ridge, well, the day after ASCII Ridge came out, and we've been grinding for him ever since. ASCII Ridge came out almost, actually, yeah, over a year ago to the day, maybe? To the month, at least. But prior to what you guys are seeing now, well, actually, prior the first 4,000 kills, realistically, well, maybe the first 4,200, this grind was hyper managed. You know, it got loose towards the end, but I mean, I was just shooting diamonds and diamonds and diamonds and diamonds and diamonds, and then like. Fast forward, it's like, listen, I'm just shooting everything now. And anyway, what I was getting at with that hyper management, I'm not shooting everything like I am now. I was shooting very particular deer, very, like, I was shooting maybe 8 or 9 deer a run through for 4,000 plus kills. I mean, was I getting rewarded for it? Yes, but not with a great one. Oh, what did I shoot? Because I honestly saw that guy's rack and realized I didn't look at his estimate before I pulled the trigger and was like, oh, was that a diamond? It wasn't. But I also totally thought I shot a female in the face. New England is 100%, I think, one of the most beautiful maps in the game. I weirdly like New England for some reason, even though it's one of those maps where I'm like, yeah, I like New England, and then like, depending on what I'm doing, if I'm running gunning or something, or if I'm looking for something specific, that's usually what leads to the burnout. But I'll be on New England for about half an hour. I'm like, all right, we're good. But at the same time, I mean, if you know what you're doing, it is a good map. That's my favorite map to hunt, like bobcats and stuff on. I honestly think it really is, outside of the nightmare of that river that goes through the middle of it. I think it would make a good whitetail grinding map. The setup for it is what would make it not so fun. All right. A little over 400 meters here at this zone. Kind of rough. I'm honestly not sure that was a good shot. Get another one in him at least. Make sure these guys aren't spooked. You know, I've never seen that rack make dime yet, but with an estimate like that, you gotta try to shoot it. Now, that being said, 400 plus meters with the gun that's in my hand, I don't know about this. I don't think the range is gonna be there. The problem is at this angle, we've got a good chance to shoot him in the butt, even though we don't intend to. Ooh, that was too high. Oh, I know what we're doing. I know what we're doing. Yeah, as far as like running a gun and like on New England, it's kind of like 50-50. Ah, this guy dipped out of here. It's one of those things where it's like when you know and recognize where all like the open areas are, it's pretty good, and if you get tent set up and everything. But if you're like starting out, nothing's discovered, and you're having to like actually walk the map, it's not very fun experience. And well, a lot of times, because I reset, a lot of the times when I get on New England now, I'm like, oh, I don't have that northern part unlocked yet. I don't want to have to walk all the way over there. Really, all the maps are beautiful in their own way. Because I gotta say, for this game having come out in 2017, still looks pretty good at the end of the day. I'm trying to think. Man, Varanga Savannah, early morning, 10 out of 10. Leighton Lakes, early morning, stunning. Not like super, like 7 o'clock in the morning, beautiful. funny is, in my opinion, a long time ago, it used to be actually my, like, whenever the stream was starting, it was like part of that screen. But Rancho, in my opinion, is one of the uglier maps, but it's also one of the most beautiful. Like, there's a couple scenic spots that it's like insane to look at, you know? Well, I definitely hope both of your grinds go better than mine's going, you know? I don't know, I'm real complainy. My whitetail grind first ever time. Granted, this was back before any of the great ones existed, and nobody knew what grinding was. It took about 6,000 kills to get my first whitetail great one. Honestly, though, my pheasant grind literally spoiled me because, well, it took 1 kill, maybe? Less than 5? I don't know, to me, sub 1,000 kill grinds feel like they're instantaneous, basically. Back in the day, man, I really, because most people, like, so many people were shooting their great one, mule deer, within 200 kills, and I'm like, wow, alright, let's do this thing. That first 200 went by, and then broke 1,000, and then 2,000, and 3,000, it's like, here we are. Yeah, and part of, you know, honestly, that part of it is what, like, makes the game so replayable, because it's like, at the end of the day, we're not actually going to know. Like, there's no actual rhyme or reason to these great ones. Everything that we do in between the time you start grinding to when they respawn is just fun filler, I guess. That being said, since I've stopped herd managing my mule deer, the game has weighted more rares for me, which is pretty nice. But that, you know, shout out JBiz, you know, steal this idea, bruh. You got time to make the video, I don't. I'm wondering if you can actually manage it or balance the map to where you can actually, like, really heavily lean toward getting some super rares. You know, just get that sweet spot where you're just popping enough dimes and just enough rares that that thing happens sooner rather than later. It was actually a really risky shot, and I shouldn't have done it. Rix has literally shot 2 great one mule deer in the time that I started grinding again. So in the past 800 kills, he shot 2 great one mule deer. I'm like, what gives? Shout out Mac. He's out here just dropping great ones like it's nobody's business. Dude, that's insane. See, I'm kind of hoping, but it's also wild to hope for, but hearing stories like that. Because I'm like, man, I'm getting enough dimes and stuff, and, like, my rares have been pretty terrible here of late. Well, not here of late. They've actually been really good since I've started doing this, but First 4,000 kills, dude. I literally had 10 rares. It's it. 4,000 kills, 10 rares. Anywho, I've actually now doubled that. I'm probably at 20 something now. But I keep thinking like maybe I'll get rewarded here on this grind with a super, because that would make this long tedious grind worth it. It is 4,800 kills. I do not. Which I guess I could, but I do not. I mean, I see it as another platform for me, and this would take some experimenting, but like, I just the aspect ratio and that, like, because here's the thing, you can stream just like that on YouTube as well, and I don't do it just because, like, I don't know if like Call of the Wild like visually would make sense. It hardly does right now, you know. And what I'm talking about is like, literally I'm shooting over 300 meters to these deer at this zone. Like, I obviously can see them because I'm looking at my computer monitor, you know, right in front of my face. But for you guys that are out there on cell phones and stuff, I'm looking at nothing, you know? And like, I think TikTok and stuff like that might exacerbate or make that worse, you know, for this game in particular. And I could just be worrying about the wrong thing, so I don't know. I will say I do have a TikTok presence. I used to be not really disciplined, but I'm actually gonna flip over to TikTok real quick. Sorry guys, I'm just like, I could probably do this. I need to go to the bathroom. I'm getting ready to take a bathroom break, but oh dude, I gotta shoot you. I gotta shoot you. Now I just spooked my other zone probably. I mean, I've had a few quote-unquote bangers, I guess. Couple of my Call of Wild vids. Now, here's my opinion. Granted, I'm biased, of course. Some of my older stuff, like before, you know, when I was just starting out, I still think is low-key gold, but, like, because I wasn't established yet, it's not, if that makes sense. And not that I care, ultimately, but I'm looking back at some older content that I made and was like, ah, those were the good old days. With that zone. It's the same thing, and I don't want to make a liar of myself. It might be linked on the YouTube channel. Maybe not. I know my TikTok is linked to the YouTube, though. But I don't know if that works the other way around, if you know what I mean. Okay, that's it. Gotta use the restroom. Be right back. And I'm back. Sorry about that, folks. You know what's funny is, thinking back on it in hindsight, I guess, I don't know if it was necessarily TikTok. Honestly, it was Flinner that was doing it, because I realized Flinner was a child in comparison to me in age-wise, and I'm like, if he can do it, I can do it. And, well, when you're a child and you don't have children of your own, and this is, Flinner's hero when it comes to this stuff. But anyway, back in the day, TikTok was my way to, like, because I love long form videos. I love making videos. I love editing videos. And when you don't have time to do that, you know, because here's the thing, like a lot of big time YouTubers, you know, obviously they pay people to do that, but I love to do it. So it's like, I want to do it. But when you don't have time, you don't have time. That said, with TikTok and stuff like that, like it's pretty easy to sit down and like clip out a 30-second video, you know, but I don't know. Here's the thing too, like here's the big difference, and this is like I don't know if it's like a culture, like the ecosystem difference or what it is, but there is like for example, so over here on YouTube or like my channel or like just me in general, like, you know, I'm not a great one grinder. Even though we're great one grinding right now, I'm almost 5,000 kills in. You know what I mean? I've got several great runs. I don't have hundreds though, and that's because great ones aren't my thing. But you know, there are certain places, looking at you Twitch, where that's all that matters, and it's like, well, at the end of the day, I don't really care about great ones. Not that I don't think they're cool or anything, but my thing is the wild caught diamonds. Like, there's nothing more fun and amazing in this game to me than like what we did the other night, where we're just walking around a Parque Fernando and find just literally trophies of lifetimes. First time ever, you know, Black Bug had the map since it came out and never found a diamond black bug. Lo and behold, the other night that happened, you know? So anyway, that's my thing. But you know what I mean? So if you're like, for context, I guess it less, and I haven't really established this on like TikTok or anywhere, but like, you know, if I'm just posting a clip of me shooting some diamond somewhere, you know, like, okay, cool, you shot a diamond. This is, you know, it turns into kind of like a Reddit thing where it's just like, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a such and such. And it's like, no, you don't understand. Like, this was found out in the top of that mountain and it wasn't supposed to be here and I found it, kind of thing, you know? Fast travel back, change time. Because I think that's what's going on here. Well, that's super odd that they're still not here after that time change. Wolves, maybe? Yeah, we've got, see the moose tracks. Normally I spook, he's hanging up there by my tent. I spook him towards the lake, but this time his tracks are going from the lakes, which tells me there's probably wolves at play. I'm not going to dwell on it. We're going to skip it. Go to this zone. Okay, instantly dropped him. I don't know if I spine shot him, head shot him, or hard shot him. With this gun, there's no telling. 79. He was actually bottom end of his estimate. In the middle. Oh, I didn't count that other deer, did I? We're at, what, 6 now? 806? Of said country. USA! USA! The JBez method. I'm going to switch over into ASCII Rich from here. Hey, stand by. I just thought of the way. You know how earlier I was talking about shooting a real life piebald? I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is, post or send him a picture. I figured I just thought of a way to somewhat quickly actually show that. Stand by. I just thought of the way. You know how. Hang on, stand by, folks. We're not just standing here, I promise. I guess I should be jibber jabbering while I'm just sitting here. What I'm doing, okay, so the only picture I can find right now is one, in fact, I was trying to make for TikTok, and it's stupid, so I'm trying to find the better version. I don't know what happened to it. I'm looking on my phone, obviously, and it's not going so hot. To be super truthful. You know, we're just going to send it anyway. So I think this worked. Yeah. So I'm not trying to actually like block my face out, but oh, wait, hang on. You guys still can't see it cuz hang on. Stand by. Boom. There it is. I don't know if you guys can actually see. Why can't I zoom this in? There we go. That right there is the same rifle that we're using. Anyway, yeah, Super pink nose. Had bright blue eyes, which was wild. And then, can't really see it, but like on the backs of his legs, like, well, you can kind of see it here, but total piebald. Anyway, back to the show. I've been thinking about how to do that since I talked about it like an hour ago. You know, and to explain why the face was blocked out. Well, you know, I don't know if you guys have, you know, I don't know what your For You page looks like, but you know, mine's full of you know what kickers and door kickers. You know what I'm saying? And anyway, you know, there was a phase there, you know, showing a bunch of crazy SF forces, you know, and like there was a trend of showing off like those types of images, but I wanted to do the same thing, but with all my like, you know, real life kills, and long story, I never did it, but that's why the face was blocked out. Context, those images I'm speaking of, like just like I displayed there, except for deer, they're actual people, if you know what if you catch the drift. There's some bad mamma jammas in this world, and there's got to be some even badder mamma jammas to get them. Ten Fabled right here, right now. Get this thing done and over with. So here's what's wild. Here's some story behind that piebald that I shot. And again, like I'm not trying to like be braggy about it. It's just insane that it happened that it didn't either. You know, like anyway. So we'd actually gotten that deer on trail camera like a couple years prior, and where I hunt at, there's a lot of black bear, and well, brand new baby deer just so happens to be one of their favorite things, you know. And obviously, here's this whitetail that is not camouflaged at all. It's just like its entire head's white, you know what I mean? And it's just like, oh, he's dead. That's cool to see, but he's dead. You know, he's gonna get nuked. And then I actually have it on video, me shooting it too, by the way, but I can't show that on YouTube, unfortunately. I might actually post that in the Discord. Shout out Discord champs. Anyway, so just you know, run of the mill hunt, and lo and behold, we called him the ghost face because obviously his face was white. And lo and behold, man, literally just look up and he's standing there, just like, whoa! Not only are you still alive, like you got a lot bigger. You know, you're not a baby anymore. And yeah, I for that situation, I wasn't one of those. We're gonna let him grow up. No, I'm shooting him. But I'm taking him before the bears do. You know what I'm saying? Shot that guy with the wrong gun. Oops, he's going down anyway. I will say, and this is because that was see, what year was that? 2020 maybe? 2019? Right in there. I mean, I was straight up playing Call of Wild at the time, you know what I mean? And so like, and this is how messed up I guess Call of Wild is as a real life hunter. What's going on, Kelly? In a weird way, I remember feeling like after going up, walking up on him and seeing him, I felt super disappointed in a weird way because I'm like thinking of Call of the Wild, you know, and I'm like, that's a piebald, but no, like, I don't know, it's weird. Well, unfortunately, it 0. Wish I could have a tent somewhat closer to the zone, but I don't. Well, have a good one outdoors, man. Appreciate you talking or coming by and talking. Now that's the biggest problem. We've got absolutely 0 mule deer, none, and getting antsy. We're almost 5,000 kills in. Finally broke 4,800. This has been a brutal grind. Oh, I know. My buddy, shout out Ricks. He's literally, so I stopped Great One grinding mule deer at 4,000 kills, gave up on it, and then they added the rares. So I've been grinding since the update. So we're 800 kills in since the update. Shout out Ricks. He shot 2 mule deer in the same amount of time that I've shot 800. So it's like, oh, cool. My Great One grind's cursed. Alright. We're using a little herd management trick here. He's okay. That other guy's gonna die. Not gonna pick him up. You know what that means? He's not gonna come back as a Great One, which means theoretically I shouldn't have to worry about coming back to this zone. That's if we want to shoot that max weight too. As far as Great One potentials, obviously we want to get rid of this max weight. So I'm not necessarily herd managing anymore, but alright, he's done for. I'm gonna worry about those guys. Again, they're not going to come back as Great Ones. I know that. It's intentional. What I'm doing up is clearing up. I don't have to go back to that zone next time because there's not going to be a Great One there. Okay, now that's odd. Oh, no, never mind. I was going to say, that's weird. No deer down there. You're broadside. Just standing there. Can I get him again? Nope. Alright, he's going down not terribly far at least. That last one was a bad shot. I knows it. Come on now. We're losing her. We're losing her. He's going down. You know, honestly, at longer ranges, I'm actually better shooting at 0 for 150 than I am 300. 300, 0 plus. I need to make a video on that someday because it does weird stuff, and I don't know how to explain it without making a video. Every time this happens, I just tell myself I need to let respawns cook anyway, so we're taking a hike through the mountains. Really hoping for is because I changed tactics up that the next 1,000 kills, which would be the next 200 here, is like where this dude spawns. But we'll see. I've been thinking that for almost 5,000 kills now. I kind of missed the management part though, because that diamond that we shot earlier in the stream was the first one I'd seen in a hot minute. Although I do have all the rare mule deer already, the new ones, so that's been nice. In fact, we broke that 100 kill mark. I'm just judged off, basing off of, well, maybe that diamond shot was it, but I wouldn't be shocked to see a rare pop up soon. Yeah, I'm hoping something weird happens. Like I said, I did notice a literally up to 4,000 kills, and this was part of like what led to like my initial burnout. I was like, all right, we hit 4,000, we're done. I'd shot only 10 rares up to that point, which was kind of crazy. But here's what's even crazier. Since going no management, shooting everything, I've shot that many rares and 800 kills. Including all the brand new rares they just added. I was saying earlier, like my pheasant grind really did spoil me because less than 5 kills. I don't know, between 1 and 5. That's how many it took for it to spawn. And you know, fallow deer was like 2,000 something. $2,000 sounds like a lot, but it's really not. Honestly, if you're not breaking 1,000, it's not a real grind, you know? That said, though, when you're used to grind sub 1,000 grinds, you know, the past 4 great ones, you're like, alright, this is brutal. That was probably, I think it was like 700 or 800 kills into my maybe it was like 600 into my fox grind, and I really want to get back to that thing. The mule deer grind, I really did. This has humbled me because in my head I'm like 250, maybe 500 kills. We'll grab this guy and then head back to the fox grind, because I thought this would be the fox grind, if that makes sense. I thought we'd still be here just grinding, slugging away at the fox, but nope, it's been the muley. So those silos bounced out are probably down here. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick, folks. I'm back. I'm sure a hungry rabbit. The problem with hunting mule deer this late, wolves are definitely an issue. I don't know if the wolves are just in transition or what's going on. See any mule deer down there right now? That said, though, when weird stuff like this happens, it kind of gets me excited because it's like, ooh, maybe that means the great ones are spawning. Or it just means it's part of the grind and you're gonna have to shoot through it and it's gonna be obnoxious. Oh, I'm glad he went down. He just had to turn into that. Really bad angle for the angle that I'm shooting down on him at. I'm gonna hit nothing but antler. I need to turn around. Ah, there we go. Was gonna 22 at him, but was that a bad hit? I think it was. Oh, that other guy just now died, and he ran forever. Even though I shot him twice. First one was probably antler. Second one was probably like tailbone. I've done moose grind. Y'all chose the wrong dude to roll up on. Make sure none of y'all are bigger than you look. Hey, no one dies. I'm gonna do that here, dude. Get. I don't want to cause more hunger, dude. You're gonna make me do things I regret. You know what? There's no shame in running, right? He didn't actually go that far at all. I expected him to be at the bottom of the mountain, like no joke. I expected him to be out right here. Okay. Recommend for moose grind? That one, so if you're talking about moose, for me, like a lot of people really like Medved for their moose grind. I personally really like Reventuli Coast. Now that said, and I think I got lucky just kind of just, you know, the way great ones are, you know, with my moose grind, because I actually got my great one moose on New England. Does that mean it's a good great one grinding map for moose? I don't know, not particularly. But like I said, I think honestly between Medved or Reventuli Coast. Moose are hard because they're kind of like whitetail in a sense where there's just so many zones everywhere and you gotta like find them, and there's so many solos, dude. I'll never forget seeing that big rack though the first time. I thought the game was broken at one point because of it, because like it was a weird, like glitchy, like it wasn't rendering in, the rack wasn't, and I was like, what is going on here? And I realized it was a great one. I was like, no way. You know, personally for me, again now, I would say the community choice would probably be Medved, but for me personally, I love Rev because it's just an easier map to navigate. It's a better map overall, in my opinion, and I mean the lakes there are just perfect. It's like they were like, what's a map that would be perfect for Great One grinding, and then they made Reventuli. It's actually a tough angle because if you're not careful, you're just going to hit the back end of him. Check to see, make sure there's no diamonds or rares or something like that up here. And again, if there's any males up here, I probably will shoot them, but again, let them lay. I don't know. Just think about the moose thing. There's moose on this map. You know, this may not be a terrible moose map. I don't know. That river could be painful. The rivers, but... Back in the good old days, before they added home ranges and stuff like that, Layton Lakes was just insane for moose. Almost want to nuke that zone entirely, but at least I know where it's at. That's a really big level 4 mule deer. We're going to shoot him with the 450. I didn't even see that guy there. No way that tree just saved that dude's life. Double check. I don't think I hit him. Nope. Hang on. We're tracking blood. $2.92. That's big gold. I mean, just so many mule deer. I'm so desperate at this point, I almost want to shoot every single mule deer that I have, including females, and see what happens. Okay, so see this glitch right here? This is a game-breaking bug. Once this occurs, you can no longer fast travel, you can no longer access your storage. The only way to fix it is to hard restart the game. That's unfortunate. Good news is I didn't shoot anything. But man, whenever I refer to the cancel glitch, this is what I'm referring to. That said, on this note, I do need to use the restroom. We're going to be right back. That being said, as far as I'm aware, it's not very common of a glitch. In fact, I think I might be the only one who played with it. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it has something to do with me not getting this great one yet. Or I'm just paranoid. I'm actually going to continue where I left off just because of respawn timers. That's still cooking, and I'm going to keep it going where I was. That's what's nice about the old semi-autos right there, man. That follow-up. Been a couple cycles since these guys have been here. That's a little odd. Not cool, wolves. Not cool. Gonna change time again. What's going on here? Maybe wolves messed everything up. That one run through for whatever reason. Look! I was just talking about you, man. Not really just now, but probably like an hour ago it was. Here I'm at like 5,000 kills when everybody's telling me just how few kills they have for their great one mule deer, and I'm like, alright, my Mule Grind's cursed, no big deal. Oh yeah, see, wolves, we're ditching this one. We're out. I'm out. Rix has already shot two in the time I've, been doing this. And he's not even interested in mule deer. Like, I feel offended at this point. And again, I was saying earlier too, like I've been pretty spoiled by like sub 2,000 kill grinds for the past long time, and here I am. This is brutal. Dude, what's with the wolves? I'm at the wrong zone. Firstly, they might, well. I was so arrogant. I was so sure that my grind was going to be between 250 and 500, and here we are. I honestly thought I'd still be grinding Fox at this point. I don't know what the hang up is. I think it's just, you know, it's one of those grinds. Or they really should have been taking this as a sign and pop smoke on ASCII Ridge and go somewhere else, you know? 1 minute back. Okay. It's been a really long time since wolves have actually been an issue, and then now here they are popping up. Part of me almost wishes, like, maybe that's a sign, you know, this guy's coming. I don't know. I will say it's weird. So I gave up after 4,000 kills once the update came out. I gave up herd management on muleys. Good, bad, or ugly. Because, I mean, at 4,000 kills, like, whatever. And I've actually shot way more rare mule deer than so at 4,000 kills, I'd only shot 10 rares on the grind total. That is a weird rack. What in the world? I've, again, shot almost 5,000 muleys at this point. That's weird. I'm going to taxidermy that guy just because he's wonky looking. I'm not seeing that in over almost 5,000 kills. Looks like he crashed. Got him deformed. Anyway. He counts. Is that what's making it rough? That said, though, like, or what I was getting at was, so, like, I've shot that many rares since then. I've shot 10 more rares, and 3 of them were the new ones. So, like, okay. That's kind of been fun, I guess. Still not a great one, though. I do have a 5. I don't think he's going to make it, honestly. I bet he's going to troll. I'll have to look at him again, but... Ooh, what's that guy? He looks big. No, he's not. Oh, dude, that's insane. You know, the whole time I've been thinking I was going to get it Papa Super, because I was on a hot stretch on just insane amount of diamonds. And I don't know, man. I feel like this is just one of those, this is one of those grinds that makes you want to pull your hair out. This was kind of like me circa my Red Deer grind way back in the day. Shout out Mac for, I think it was Mac, right? Getting me Tay. And I didn't realize back in those days that dirty grinding wasn't spawning great ones. So I was shooting just so many mule deer and getting so frustrated. And Well, here we are, doing everything right, and it's just like, yep, it's a great one grind. Well, see, and I don't know if there's any correlation because I haven't seen a or yet this evening, but I almost wonder if there's like there's something to it where you can like manage your map in a way that somehow the game balances that out to where it's like you can increase your odds a bit, or if it's just so rare that it's just, you know, it is what it is. Pretty sure. Well, this is where that 5 is. And there might be wolves. Hopefully he wasn't some sort of jumper. I mean, that's what really got me going on Great One grinding in general, because like I'd gotten, you know, the Great One whitetail, but I didn't know anything, or like I didn't understand there was like a method to the madness kind of thing, you know. And that was the days. That was pretty revolutionary, man. Because, man, that whitetail grind took me forever. And it was it was. But then, like, there's these red deer great ones. And, like, I remember, too, that was right after they updated mule deer, or red deer to drink during the daytime. A long time ago, man. Or it feels like it, at least. I got 2 super rares off of it. Great One red deer, Great One fallow. First ever diamond. Oh goodness. The name has forgot. 2 supers. Great One red deer. Great One fallow. First ever diamond European rabbit. My first and only melanistic male mallard. Let's get off that. Who knows what else? Countless stuff. Right? That's just it. I bet if this, man, you know what I actually want to do, and this is so weird because there's no like real incentive to it. I loved the red deer Great One grind so much. Like I almost want to be one of those weird. I used to think that it was going to be about whitetail for me, but I don't know, man. I want a red deer lodge. Like that was a fun Great One grind, man. And that was pre 300 that we're using now, man. So I think it'd be even more fun. I'll never forget at one point with Red Deer Grind, I had 15 or 12 or 15, I can't remember, diamonds stacked on my map. And there was a challenge that came out, and I saw it and I thought it was the wildest challenge I've ever seen Call of the Wild pull out, because it was like shoot 15 diamonds. And I was like thinking about it, I'm like, well, if you're not great one grinding, if you're some dude out there just, you know, playing the game, you're gonna have a bad time. Anyway, it was fun just because I just did a run through and just shot them all, and just like easy challenge completed. I don't know why my mails have stopped coming out freely. It's kind of annoying me. Oh, it's because it's the end of drink time, that's why. Then it always makes me change time. But that said, the past 3 run-throughs, they've not been here, which is odd. But it could explain why there's 3 males up at the other side. And I've not made it there yet, but I bet there's going to be deer at that other lake this time. I always check that, even though I know I'm not going to see anything. Yep, they're not there. I bet there's going to be deer here this time, though. I think I just have a group of solos that, like, just bounce around, and that's all I'm actually shooting. That's kind of why this is a nightmare. The wolves. I hit him. I hope not, because if I did, those were really far forward. Now, if he slows down right here, I could pop him. Nah. I don't know. I'm not sure when to start to worry, though. You know, is it like the 6,000 kill mark? Should it be right now? I don't know. My whitetail grind was like 6K kills. That's a big boy. 294 to 355. That's an insane estimate. I bet he scores 295, 298, maybe 300. Well, it definitely grabbed his attention running in there, but he didn't turn around. I don't love that angle. Not for the 450. I don't know, he's got some girth. Like he died right inside my tent. $300. Shot that little filler and then I wounded him. Shot him right in the butt. Hoping it was going to be able to catch up on him and shoot him again, but now we got a runner. Oh, he didn't go anywhere. Okay. Oh, we liver shot him. Nice. No, we didn't. Yeah, we did. Cool. I was thinking we were gonna have to drive, you know, to the outpost or something, because he's just running away because we shot him in the butt. Hopefully that 5's stayed in here. $262 to $323. I don't think he's making it. I'm betting he scores like 308. some reason there's no mules there and there, but let's shoot this 5. My guess, he's a big fat troll. $309. Did I call that? 308? What do I say? Just so. Yeah. Actually, did I change time? I don't know. Maybe they were late to the zone, but I have a pretty strong feeling wolves came through here, so. Whoops-a-daisy. Yeah, there's nothing standing there. Part of me wants to skip it, but the other part of me wants to change time and see what happens. I don't like jumping between grinds, and like it frustrates me now that we're stuck on this muley grind, and I still like. I should have stuck to my fox grind in hindsight, but man, now there's fox or wolves. There's, you know what? Let's change town again. Wolves, pigs. Probably gonna be another one before I get this stupid thing. I should have stuck. Solo does stand there this time, which means theoretically when I change time, they're actually going to be standing here. They are here. The problem is the males aren't. But they're honestly just kind of fanned out, I think, throughout my zones. I've already been shooting, so it is what it is. Interesting. Maybe wolves, but I don't think so. Let's try again. Time will go backwards in time. Sometimes this happens. almost got out of hand. He already beat you to it, wolves. I think that last shot might have actually been a vital. I cannot believe I shot this many mule deer. Where did these guys end up going? I'm gonna have to like recheck all my zones and stuff, man, because something weird's going on now. Yep, you're supposed to have some boyfriends hanging out with you. That's a tough shot. 257's low-key OP. I mean, that was almost a 300-meter shot, and he went less than, double lunged him and went less than 30 yards. There's a certain point in this grind where my eyes just start to bleed, and we're definitely there. Just so many mule deer. I'm almost shot 100 mule deer. How many have I shot? What did we start out at? A lot. Panicked because I thought I made a bad shot on that guy. He didn't go down immediately, which I thought was a little weird. Dang it. Oh well. Did I wound him? I did. Tell you what, I think that's a good place to call it, folks. Granted, there could be a great one sitting there at that last zone, but yeah, I'm pretty much over this one. Man, alright, how many muleys did I shoot? So that's 4,787, so we're 40 on, though. Shot a lot of muleys. Unfortunately, still no great one. Slight change in the stream schedule. I will not be streaming tomorrow night. I'll be going live Thursday instead, Lord willing. And then Friday's stream will be rescheduled to Saturday. So, anyway, I don't know what we're doing yet, Wednesday or Thursday. Right now, definitely leaning toward the run gun because tired of you muleys. We'll see though. I could be in the muley grind, but most likely we'll be running gun and look for trophies to fill up the 2026 Wildcat Trophy Lodge. But yeah, I appreciate everybody stopping by. We'll see you guys on the next one.